Hey guys, so this video I'm going to talk a little bit more about the collar sleeve position, but first I want to get into more of a more conceptual topic of the single sleeve control, okay? So go up. So a lot of people like the collar sleeve position, and I like it too, where you're here, but I think a really important thing to understand is that the sleeve control is kind of the more important part of this position. Because if I just have a collar and he's keeping his hand away, I can't play collar sleeve, right? If I have a sleeve like this with a lasso or whatever, I can always grab the collar and switch to collar sleeve, right? So for me, I build a lot of my game off of getting a single sleeve grip. That's a really important concept because when we're in the open guard in general, before we have grips, we're looking for a way to try to establish offense. So we have to get an initial grip first. So often, like maybe you like to play X guard, right? You need to get an initial grip to set the position up most of the time. So like close guard, right? It's not an easy grip guard to get to. You have to earn that position. So having grips that are easy to get to that you can build your game off of are super important. So the two main ones I focus on is like a single sleeve grip or a single pant grip because they're easy to get to, and if you know what to do from there, you can build your entire offense from there. So a lot of guys, they don't like to play like a lasso or a sleeve control game, but some of the difficulties from that, go ahead and stand up, is if you have a guy approaching you with his hips back and more his upper body's engaged, it can be hard to get to the leg, right? Now, of course, you can collar drag and do things like that, but sometimes it's really easy if he's like this, or even if he's on his knees or something, right? Like here, I can't play De La Riva. If I just get a sleeve, I can fall back and lasso, and now I can build my offense from here. I can choose to go collar sleeve and chase omoplatas and things like that, right? But I can also choose to go double sleeve. And for a lot of the people that just play collar sleeve, I think it's really important to learn to mix some of the all three of these main guards from this sleeve control together, because just having one attack is always harder, right? So stand back up. So like I have just the single sleeve control. If he grabs here, I can switch to the double sleeve, break a grip and start going De La Riva. I can start boloing. You have all sorts of options from the double sleeve. If he won't give me this grip, I have the collar sleeve, right? You can chase the omoplata, right? We can go overhead. We can take him backwards. We can do a lot of things with it. You can shoot for the triangle, right? Or if I'm here too, I can let go and go cross grip, and I can start playing cross sleeve sit-up guard. You know, I can start tapping and go to like De La Riva X. You can start going for a crab ride. You can start building your offense from there, right? So like when you start a match, like of course you can go directly for the collar sleeve, but a lot of the questions I had online were about like, what do you do when the guy's in combat base? What do you like to do here? What do you like to do there? If you change your mindset more from this position is just collar sleeve, but it's more about building off of the sleeve grip, then you can like have a lot more avenues of attack. So for example, I have a lasso and the collar here, go to both knees, right, like this, and guys are asking like, what do you do if he's down low with his elbows tight, so your elbows really tight, and you're playing collar sleeve? It can be really hard to force your attack from here, right? But from here, it's easy to go cross sleeve, and now I can sit up and start playing like butterfly, like this. And like go for the back here real easy, right? If he's down like this, I can grab, if he grabs my pants, I can grab the double sleeve, and now I can start breaking through here. I can go to close guard, you can transition, right? So I think it's really important that guys don't just view the position as just collar sleeve, like you can't let go of the position. I can be in the collar sleeve, let go of the collar, and go to the double sleeve. Let go of the double sleeve or the collar and go for the cross sleeve and start playing from there. Right? There's more options than just that, but I think those are the main three I like to focus on in the beginning. So you have your lasso position, you build from here, right? Now going back to the collar, because I do want to continue on the collar sleeve series a bit, but just with a lot of the questions I had, I felt like it was important to address that conceptual point, which is just because I'm playing here doesn't mean that I can't let go of this to do something else, right? It may be advantageous sometimes, like if I'm here and like the guy deadlifted when I was here, like this, you'll see Keenan do this a lot, or at least he used to. He'll go here and then switch to like the De La Riva X, right? I wouldn't try to force the position like if he's not giving it, right? Okay, so last time we were here in the collar sleeve, we did with the lasso, the guy's trying to loop out, and you can rip for the omoplata. There was a question I think is really useful. Sometimes the guy starts to loop his hand out, so loop it out, right? It starts to get out a little bit. You can always kick and pull it back in to reset the position, okay? And then I chase the omoplata, right? So another really good attack from here is like maybe I'm in the lasso or the De La Riva, right? And like I was looking for the sleeve, he's keeping the hand away here. Like turn this way. Yeah, so he's like keeping this away. So I'll get the collar. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push his leg out near his hip,
And I want to kind of have a little bit of a pressure back when I do it. So I'll go perfect like that, right? Now I tuck this arm, I start pulling backwards, he'll start stepping, and then I just put the foot on the floor to finish. Come back. Okay, so we're setting up here, right? So we're like this, right? He's here, I have this foot here. Even if he's got the foot in the bicep sometimes, or the pants with your left hand. Yeah, sometimes I can still get it. I just kick this out, and as I kick it out, I tuck this arm and pull the collar backwards, like this, right? This, I'll get him to step a bit, right? Once he steps a bit, I tap the foot to the floor. That gives me the extra drive to use this De La Riva hook to kick him backwards. There, it's pretty easy to come up. A lot of times you can come straight into a strong knee cut with the cross collar. Not always, sometimes you just get the sweep, but it's a good threat. As always, with most positions, you know, I like to teach a lot of things kind of all together because these moves don't function in isolation. You can't just do one move, master it, and then move on to the next move. You have to put like a series of 3 or 4 attacks together to understand if he's blocking this way, you have to do this, right? If you're trying to master one move and that's it first, and the guy's defending that move by keeping his elbow tight, well then you can literally never do the move. You need to see all the moves as one package together and slowly start trying to put it all together, right? Okay, so one more time. Some of the main stuff from collar sleeve, you know, we achieve the lasso first maybe. I'm looking for the second sleeve, he won't give it. I go collar sleeve. You have the basic omoplata, right? You can try to go overhead, right? And in this case, we're here, I put the De La Riva hook in, I kick this leg back, and I tuck the arm, and I start pulling back this way, right? So I pull the collar back that way, and I take my De La Riva hook, and I'm kicking back that way, right? So there, he starts to step, I put the foot on the floor, and drop him, right? Come back up. One last detail on this. We're here like this. Sometimes it just depends on the guy when I kick. A lot of times I want when I kick for him to step back that way a little bit, but he's kind of leaning out this way. Sometimes you can kick this out hard and drop him to a De La Riva X. That just depends on them. Okay. Okay, so we're here, kick out like that. You can go De La Riva X, but in this case we're trying to go there, put on the floor. All right. Okay, so that's enough. Like I said, I always like to give a technique at the end, but the conceptual stuff is really important there. The idea of getting good at that lasso or single sleeve grip and then building your offense off of there. Okay guys, so we're gonna stay on this series of building off of a single sleeve grip for a bit. So I want you guys to help on Reddit and YouTube and just ask a lot of questions about what positions within there are giving you a hard time. I know guys are talking about guys deadlifting. I can cover that next, but throw some more questions, and as always, share, subscribe, like. Thanks a lot.